Hello, my name is Steve Webster, and kind of want to go over and do this video really quick to touch base a little bit on growing industrial hemp. I kind of put something out there a while back on Facebook about some interest in growing it on our property this year, and I got way bigger response than I actually anticipated. So I researched the process and feel that I'm at the point where I think I can take about 8 families to help split up the cost. If you're getting this video, it means that I thought that you would be a good candidate for this. So I'm going to do my best to, outline what we're going to be doing and some expectations and risk and all that other stuff. So try to keep this brief. We're only going to be growing about 3/4 of an acre to an acre of this stuff. The goal is simply to feed out the hemp game. I'm mainly interested and growing it, drying it, and processing it for the purpose of a hempcrete for a root cellar. That's what I plan on using it for. My initial idea is that we would simply grow like a small plot, again, 3/4 of an acre to an acre. I plan on splitting the costs with 8 other people that would want to get involved. I will pay a little bit more than the others due to it being on our land, and there's testing fees, there's initial application fees, there's an annual fee. It's quite a bit. I did some research and I've been doing a lot of homework on this, and my initial thoughts are that between the licenses, seeds, and horse manure, that it's going to run about $1,300. I'm guessing. So I'm willing to put in $500 into this, which would leave each of the 8 people that we would select, 8 families, I guess, to pay about $100. To jump in on this. However, in the end, you will get an equal share of the crop and to do what you want with it. I'll outline some of the highlights that I will go through. I currently have 10 acres on Lambie Road, and that will be the site that we will be growing. I'm going to use the process that is outlined by the state for licensing. It's quite extensive on things that they want to know. Some of this involves GPS coordinates of the actual field and GPS coordinates of the barn that we would use for processing and drying and so forth. Right now I have an unofficial commitment from Fred Muscovich, who has a barn out on Cooper Road, a little bit past the Buffalo Farm, old dog kennel back there. He said we would be allowed to use his places for that as well. Again, I didn't get price, but I will confirm with that as we go on. I was pointed in the direction of a Mark Greeno, who I think was heavily involved with the Menominees when they tried to grow theirs a while back, and he has an extensive industrial hemp growing background. Met with him one-on-one and basically ran this past him, and he asked me to approach a legacy hemp seed company to purchase our seed. I have a phone call scheduled for next week with them to set this all up. I've decided to use this company due to the fact that they have certified seeds that have been proven to grow in Wisconsin. I really like the idea of it being certified. On the research that I read and some of the language in the application process itself, if the seed is certified, and let's just hypothetically say there's a certain percentage of THC that's allowed in the industrial hemp, if it were to rise above that, then because we use certified seed from a vendor, we're free and clear of all the legal mumbo jumbo stuff. It really keeps us safe. So the other thing too is I kind of dig the concept that they've already sold seed that's grown in Wisconsin, and I think that's important as well. So I got an idea. I think it's going to be roughly about $150, $200 in seed. So I will get more info on that once I started hearing back from you folks on what you want to do with yours, because that kind of determines a little bit what kind of seed we're going to get, how long it grows for, and all that other stuff. As I mentioned before, I plan on using my share to do hempcrete for a project I'm working on in the fall. You are free to pursue and do whatever you feel like doing with your share. I'm actually going to be curious about that to see whether the people come up. I know the big thing and where everybody's talking about all the money is CBD oil. However, I don't know anybody who actually makes that. I'm vaguely familiar with the process involving ethanol to distill the seeds to do that, but I'd be curious to see what you're getting back and what's involved with that and all that good stuff. So I would even recommend too that, let's just hypothetically say we move forward and there's 8 other people willing to come forward, maybe 3-4 of you want to all do CBD oil with your share. You work with them, and then you guys go ahead and do that. So, for my research, depending on what you want to do with it, again, is going to determine how you plant it, how you harvest it, when you harvest it, all that stuff. So I also need that for the application as well. It does mention, like, I have to list out there that since I'm going to be using it for hempcrete, that I have to list out that my game plan is to use it for hempcrete. So if you 8 folks who join this group want to do something else with it, I have to list it on the application. Again, I want to stress big time, we will not make any money on this. Maybe we will, I don't know. I'm guessing highly unlikely, but I think that we will gain an understanding through the $100 through this experience of growing it, of processing it, and possibly like just creating these networks of folks, so that maybe the next phase of this is to do a co-op, and maybe we invest, maybe we go after something that is bigger and better. Maybe we go after a local niche. Maybe I don't know, just kind of throwing it out there. This is what I'm hoping to kind of feel out. So what are the expectations? So I kind of try to jot down and make some notes. I haven't had this all figured out, so I haven't knocked out some complex series of bylaws and all that good stuff. But one of the things I'm thinking we should do is, like, you should know is before making this commitment, is that there's a risk in this. My experience with growing is I've had some really good seasons, and I've had some really bad seasons. There's a chance that you could pay $100 and get out there, get dirty, help me plant, help me do whatever, and we get nothing. Whether it be soil issues, whether it be pest issues, maybe we just get nonstop rain and it just gets flooded out. So those are things that, just FYI, could totally happen. So just before you join, know that. I will provide the plowing. I can get access to the tractor and I can plow, I can disc, I can till, I can spread horse manure to the spot that we want to plant. But at certain points I'm going to need help. Keep this pretty unofficial. We can use Facebook Messenger. Facebook will create a little private group or just phone call each other to coordinate things where we might need help on. That might be harvesting, that might be planting. Since we don't have access to equipment that helps us process and plant, I think a lot of this is going to be manual. So I'm struggling to find material on how deep do I plant, how far apart do I plant each plant, things of that nature. So it's almost like there's so much information out there that I just don't know what to go with. So again, maybe as a group we come together and we all do our own things, and we'll kind of feel it out as we go. If somebody's rocking it and killing it on one side, maybe I'll do what you're doing and see if we can get the same results. So again, I'm really leaning on the group to help each other as well. Not only me, I will go out there, obviously, since it's on my land, it's where my house is, I'll be able to see it from my window where it's growing. I can do things like keep pests out of there as best as I can, all those type of things. So I'm probably going to weed mine. I found that every plant I grow, if I put even just minimal hours back out there just weeding, it really helps that plant. Another thing I want to put out there is I'm really not big on using pesticides and herbicides on our property. We're just getting started, but my wife and I are currently growing many native heirloom seeds on our property, and we just don't want that to be in our soils. So if the game plan is after your research is like, yeah, I won't have to worry about Japanese beetles because I'll just pour on 5 gallons of pesticide on there and we'll be good. That I really am not going to allow. I would just recommend that we just don't do that. I know it's like one of those things, but I just don't want it. From a timeline wise, the application is due March 1st, but I'd like to get it in about mid-February. I'll need a final decision and commitment from you about by February 10th. What I'll probably do is I'll take no response as a no. I'll probably nag on you a little bit. Hey, how's it going? You got any more questions? If I see stuff starting to come up, then I'll start pulling people in. I probably will create a private Facebook page. Doesn't necessarily mean you need Facebook in order for it to make this work, but yeah. So in my own research, I found that the hand harvesting of this stuff is a lot of manual labor. I'm pretty ignorant of how this works. I've seen combines, which in my mind, you're already talking like a $50,000 to $100,000 machine that have been retrofitted, modified to be able to help harvest the stuff and process it. We don't have that as a group, so we're really going to need to lean on each other to say, okay, once we have it in the field, maybe we'll get lucky, we throw it on a trailer and drop it off somewhere and somebody knows how to do this and has the tools to do it, but I don't know, maybe we end up doing this ourselves. So again, really looking forward to working with you. I want to keep this small. I do not anticipate this kind of interest, so, but I also don't think it's very smart. Our first go around, our training wheels, I call it, getting our training wheels to learn how to ride here and play this hemp game. I didn't want 40-50 people on this. I think that would kind of end up being kind of too hard to manage. So if you got any questions, feel free to let me know. Shoot me an email, Facebook message, text. My phone number is 920-621-1971. 920-621-1971. All right, hope to hear back from you soon.